Hello, this is the video tutorial on how to play Job's Friend by ear. So let's hear the tune. It may sound very long, however, it's actually made up of just two sections. Actually, maybe three sections, but it's mainly two sections. So the first section is section A, and it sounds like this. And we're going to learn how to play section A. So how this works is I'm going to play something first, and then I would like you to sing either the note or the notes, and then after that guess the notes that I've pressed. And when you're guessing, please press pause on the video and then press play again to resume once you have guessed the notes. So if you're stuck, do rewind it and listen to the key or keys that I've pressed and sing it again. So basically what you're trying to do is to match your voice to the keys, really. It's a process that may take weeks or months or even years for some of you, but persevere and be patient. Do not give up. Keep trying. Even if you manage to get one note, as in you manage to play only one note by ear today, that's great. That's an accomplishment. So celebrate it. Do not compare yourself with others. Keep at it. All right. So section A, the very first key is this. So let's sing La. Press pause now and guess the note. Okay, here's the first phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. This is the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. So now we're going to combine the previous two phrases. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. This is the next key. Sing la. Pause and guess. This next few notes. Sing la la la. Pause and guess. So for some of you, you might be stuck at the previous phrase, or previous notes, three notes, which a lot of my students actually are stuck at. So remember, when you press something, a note can repeat itself once or twice or thrice or infinite number of times. It doesn't always have to be a different note. Okay. So here's the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. So here's a hint for those of you who can't get the previous phrase. Keys, they don't just move sideways. They could skip one key or skip two keys or three keys, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the good thing for Job's Friend is the entire melody. It's made up of only 5 notes: C, G, E, F, G. Sorry, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and of course you put your thumb, finger 1 on C, finger 2 on D, 3 on E, 4 on F, and 5 on G. Okay, here's the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Here's the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Okay, here's the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. So remember, you know, when we're guessing melodies, you know, melodies can skip, so they can skip one key up or one key down. So bear that in mind. So let's combine the previous two phrases. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Okay, so hopefully you have managed to guess the previous phrase, and now let's combine everything. All right. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Some of you might be wondering, it's like I cannot remember the entire melody. It's like it's very difficult for me. Remember, it is okay to struggle with that, because you know, memorizing something, a melody, it is a skill in itself. It takes time, and for some of you it may take months and years, and that's totally fine. But the key thing is start today, start now, do not give up, and then your memory will increase steadily, note by note. Okay. So that was section A. Now let's move on to the next section, which is section A1. Section A1 is essentially section A with A or some changes. I'm going to play section A1 for you, and I would like you to identify where the change occurred. Is it at the start, middle, or end? Okay. And once you have determined the location of the change, I would like you to describe the change if possible. Or you can play the change as well, that's fine. So now let's listen to section A1. Okay, so have a think, where was the change and what was the change? Here's the answers. So the change happened at the very end, and the change was, instead of the ending being, it was, and everything before that was exactly the same. So let's listen to the ending of section A1 again. Sing la la la. Pause and guess. So once you have guessed the ending of section A1, it's time to play the entire section A1. Let's have a listen. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Now let's move on to section B. Section B sounds like this. Okay, so let's hear the first phrase. Sing la la la. Pause and guess. The next phrase is sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. The next phrase is sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. This is the next phrase. Sing la la la. Pause and guess. This is the next phrase. Sorry, let's change that. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. This is the next phrase. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Now let's combine the two phrases that we have that you have guessed previously. Sing la 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 la. Pause and guess. Okay, well done. You have completed section B. So after section B, we go back to section A1. And do you remember how section A1 sounded? It is this. Alright, so that's section A1. So the structure of Joseph's friend is section A, A1, B, followed by A1. Alright. So make sure you can play the entire melody. It may take you some time to try to remember it. So resist the temptation to refer to notes. Certainly, if you really need to, you can write down notes, but I won't encourage that because as part of playing by ear, you want to develop your memory as well, and that would certainly help in playing by ear. So by referring to notes, you're not exactly helping your memory, but if you really need to, and I understand that some of you would need to do it then. All right. So the next step, once you have figured out the melody, is to feel the macro beats of the music. So what do I mean by macro beats? Macro beats, it's really the pulse of the music, the heartbeat of the music, and some of you might experience the pulse or the macro beats differently, and that is okay. So what I'll encourage you, what I would like you to do now is to feel the pulse of the music. So move your body. You can do anything. You can tilt your head, left, right, front, back, or you can shrug your shoulders from left to right, or you can move your hands from left, right, dum, dum. Feel the beat, or you can sway from left to right, or you can even dance if you like to, or you can walk around the room or on the spot if you like to, or do a march. There's no right or wrong, just make sure you experience the pulse or the macro beats using your body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my arms and my hands. That's my way of doing it, but do it your way. So la 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 la. So that's an example of it. So what I would like you to do now is as I play the melody, I would like you to move your body or any body parts as a response to the music. And I'll try to wave my left hand as a way to indicate my version of my macro beat. Ready, go. Right, and some of you might actually feel the pulse or the macro beats differently. Some of you might feel it as la 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 la. And that's a bigger macro beat or pulse. It's slower, but it's not wrong. If that's how you feel it, that's fine too. And some of my students actually feel the beat more quickly. For example, So that's a quicker version. So there's no right or wrong. It's essentially how you feel, you know, the beat. You know, each one of us is different, so it's okay to feel the beat differently. So the next step is really to play C chord in your left hand. So C chord, remember, it's using your left hand, your pinky, finger 5 on C, finger 3 on E, finger 1 on G. Okay. What I'd like you to do next is to, I'm going to demonstrate, it's as I'm playing the melody, play the macro beats, every macro beats using a C chord in your left hand. For example, alright, make sure you can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the melody again, and I would like you to, you know, respond with C chords on every pulse or macro beats that you experience. So instead of moving your body now, you play a C chord on your left hand. Okay, ready, go. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, so some of you might feel the macro beats slower. So when you play along with me, you might sound like this. And some of you might feel the macro beats faster. All right. Okay, so make sure you can do it comfortably. And if you're really not sure which macro beat to use, or you know, you can't really feel it in your body, and admittedly that takes time, I would suggest doing it this way. Okay. The next step, it's really to listen to the left hand. Some of you might be thinking, it's like, oh, I think like the C chord doesn't sound too good with the right hand in certain places. And I think you're right. I think another chord would have sounded better. So the next chord that we'll look at is the G chord. And for those who are into theory, we're not playing G chord in root position, which is G, B, D. We are going to play the first inversion. First inversion, it's whereby finger 5, using your left hand, finger 5 plays B, finger 3 on D, finger 1 on G. And you press them together. So this is G chord. So make sure you can, you know, move from C chord to G chord very, very easily. Make sure you can do it with your eyes closed. So the way I think about C chord moving to G chord is my thumb stays on the G key and finger 5 and 3 they move down by one white key. That's what happens in my mind. I don't really think like, oh, G chord, first inversion, I'm playing B, D, G. I think in relative terms, so C chord, and when I move down to G chord, first inversion, I just move my finger 5 and 3 down by one white key. That's really what I do, okay? So, let's have a listen, and let's explore it. So, that sounds okay, doesn't it? Great, let's move on. Sounds fine. Oh, this doesn't sound too nice to my ears. Sounds better, okay. Oh, this sounds off. What about this? Sounds okay. Grand. Okay, let's put it together. Some of you might be thinking, I can remember the chords that I figure out, and that is okay. So if you can't remember something, just press the chord, and if it sounds off, just like change it and start from the beginning. So, you know, keep going back to the beginning of each section, and you will get it over time. It's really a matter of time, okay? And some of you, when figuring out the left-hand chords, you might decide to change the macrobeat as well, because you might feel it's easier, and that's totally fine. For example, so some of you will be thinking, oh, how do I know when to press my left hand? So you press your left hand on every macro beat, every big beat. That's why in the previous step, you know, I told you to, you know, move your body to the macro beat. So it is critical that you can feel or experience the macro beat, because if you can't do it, then what you'll be relying on is someone telling you, oh, it's like when your right hand press D, you need to press your left hand as well. So that's not what we are aiming to do when we play by ear. You know, you want to be able to, you know, do it by yourself, but remember, it will take time, because this is, remember, it's a separate skill which needs to be worked on. Okay, so try not to take the shortcut of you know, watching some video to say, oh yes, when I press D, my left hand changes to this chord. Of course you can do so, but you know, it's much more fun to be able to play by ear yourself, isn't it? Okay. So this is what I would like you to, oh, actually, maybe let's go through section A1 and then the left hand chords as well, so you can know, you can see my thought process. Actually, before I play A1, because A1 is essentially section A with changes at the end, so I think the chords on the left hand would remain the same as section A, so let's give it a go. Sounds good, doesn't it? Okay, now let's go to section B. Oh, this doesn't sound too right, too good. So how about if I try a G chord? Sounds good. What about next one? Doesn't sound too good, isn't it? So what about? Sounds okay. Okay, so let's do that. Great, and the next section is section A1, so we have already figured out the chords in section A1 previously. All right, so really the next step is to put everything together and play it. So that is Joseph's Friend by ear. So remember, if you struggle with this, do take your time with it, okay? And I would suggest like approaching this tune by steps. So make sure first you can play the melody using your right hand by memory. Do not move on until you can, do it. And if you can't play the melody, stick with section A. Make sure you can nail it down very well. And then move on to section A1. Make sure you can do it very well by memory, and then move on to section B. So if you're stuck at section A, do as much of section A as possible. And because section A, there are two big phrases. So do it step by step, bit by bit. Try not to get discouraged. I know it can be easy to get discouraged and to be impatient over the process, but you can't rush things really. Okay. And the final step, well, it's not really the final step, but one of the other steps is to transpose this Joseph's Friend into another key. So I would suggest that, well, of course you can transpose it to any key, but I've decided to transpose it to A key or A major key. So the first thing I would suggest that you do is to play your A pentachord. So it's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So. So using your right hand, figure out A pentachord, Do, finger 1 on A. What's the next key? Oh, doesn't sound right. How about? Sounds great. And now let's add the left hand to play hands together. That's great. Okay. So then let's transpose Joseph's Friend on A. Actually, this is the first time I'm doing so. Let's see how it goes. That wasn't too bad for first time, isn't it? Yeah. So feel free to keep transposing this Joseph's Friend into different keys. All right, and then the final step, if there's a final step, is to create your own version of Joseph's Friend. So you can do it in different ways. One of the easiest way is to change your left hand. So you can play the left hand on every beat, for example. It may sound a bit heavy, but it works. Or left hand, you can split the chords and break it up so that you play broken chords, for example, which is C, E, G, E. Play C, G, E, G. Or you can do an elbow T bass, for example. Or you can do something more modern, for example, C using finger 5, 2 on G, 1 on the higher C. So there was something that I've done differently. So on G chord, instead of playing B, D, G, D, G, I actually played G and then D using finger 2 and the high G using finger 1. The reason why I did so was because it just sounded better to me, and instinctively that's what I did, but certainly you can do it differently if you wish to. Alright, so remember there are endless ways to arrange a piece to make it your own version. I hope you have loads of fun learning how to play Joseph's Friend. Take care now, bye.